If you've ever blew that one chance of connecting with someone at a social gathering, then you will understand this story I'm about to share with you. Hi, if you're new here, welcome on board. My name is Cmor and this is Queenly. So recently I attended a high profile party and it was an amazing experience. Not only because I met amazing people who had interesting stories and conversations to share, but I also ran into an old school friend. Her story of success and how far she has come in her journey was so remarkable. I was so happy for her. But that wasn't the kicker of the conversation. It was what caught her attention that blew my mind away. So while we were having a conversation, she called my attention to a young fellow standing with some men in a conversation. The first thing she did was ask me, "Do you know that guy?" So I said, "Absolutely. He's a high-profile business executive." She told me, "Cmor, I just blew my chances." What do you mean? Apparently, before I arrived at the party, the young man had approached my friend for a conversation, but she snubbed him. And now that she knows who he is, she's looking for a way to fix the bad first impression that she has made with him. These are things that happen to a lot of people. So what are these habits that affluent people use to build potential intimate relationships and business success? Number one is for you to dress elegantly. Ladies, there's a difference between dressing to fit into the crowd and dressing to stand out as your unique self. We see it a lot around social media, everyone dressing like the other person, looking like the other person. One thing that high value people identify is they see the way you present and carry yourself, and they can tell if that's a signature style with you or you are just dressing to fit others. And this includes not wearing labels. When you're wearing labels, you look like an average person who is there to impress. When you're dressed revealing all your body, you are showing them that you're one of those who want to fit in and who wants to be noticed. You can dress in a way that projects your value and worth and shows that you love yourself. Now, when you're dressing, ensure that you're putting certain things into place. Choose the color that works for you, the color that projects the best version of you, the color that makes you bright and beautiful. When you wear your power color, you radiate more and you seem more attractive to people. When you dress to show your own signature style without having to fit into the crowd or wear trendy outfits, you show that you know exactly what you're worth and you are not like every other person. You want to work on how you introduce yourself. Ladies, your energy is the first thing that people notice in you when they want to introduce themselves to you or when they want to start an interaction with you. Like my friend I told you earlier on, if she had worked on her energy from the get-go and opened herself more, make sure she's friendly and approachable, she had a smile on her face and she didn't give off that attitude of a diva, maybe her conversation with the executive chap would have gone a long way and she would have learned a lot more about him. But she caught that opportunity the moment he approached her and she gave off a diva attitude. When someone approaches you for a conversation, it's important that you bring the same energy you expect others to give to you. You want to ensure that when you're introducing yourself, you're coming in with the right energy. You're introducing yourself in a way that is friendly, that is humorous, and that will make you unforgettable. This is the moment, ladies, where you keep all your titles and company name aside and focus on something that makes you unforgettable. You want to do something I call the social positioning. Ladies, affluent people don't just sit on one spot expecting to meet all the people that will help them build their relationships or their businesses. They actually step out of their comfort zone to socialize. A lot of you say you struggle with socializing, you struggle with attending parties, or you struggle with going to events. The truth is, you can learn how to take it one step at a time by going to a party of 3 or going to a party of 5 or going to a party of friends that you are familiar with. but you need to position yourself where high value people are. That way you can build connections, you can build opportunities, you can interact with people, and that way they get to learn more about you and you get to learn more about them as well. Number 4, bring your manners and social charm. Ladies, attending a social event is not just about going there to wine and dine, eat every food available, drink everything available, and then you forget your manners. People are watching, and when you go to high profile events, trust me, the high value men and women there are watching what you're doing. Not because they want to pay attention to what you're doing, but they are interacting and socializing, so their eyes are going round. When they want to come and meet you, approach you for a conversation, what they see you do might actually repel them or bring them closer. You want to ensure that you're maintaining your manners and etiquette. Wine and dine like an elegant lady. Now, remember that you don't have to eat everything that has been provided at the party. Number 5, you want to remember little details. Now, I remember the first time that I found myself in a situation where I had gone to a party before, and I went to another party 4 months later, and I met the same person. Instantly forgot her name. So while I was interacting with her, I was struggling to, remember her name. I didn't like how that felt. I didn't even like the expression on her face because she could tell that I didn't remember her name. I had to ask her again. It's okay when you forget someone's name and you ask them again, but you want to ensure that you actually make a conscious effort to remember people's names, little details, not only their names. Now imagine you're at a party and you're having an interaction with someone. In the process of having this conversation, the person will share 1 or 2 things with you, either about the things they're interested in, the projects they're working on, name of their children, their spouses, or something they enjoy. These informations are the information you're going to use to connect with them or follow up with them later. Not because you're using it as a bait, you're using it to build connection, and which is the same thing affluent people do. When they go to a social event, when they go out to gatherings, they pay attention to tiny details that people share with them during the conversation. Because when they want to follow up, those are the conversations, the tiny details are what they will use to build connection, to continue the conversation. Imagine you meet someone at a social event and you didn't pay attention to any detail, and maybe 4 or 5 months later you meet them. At that point, you are struggling with how to broach the conversation. What do I say? How do I follow up? How do I ensure that this follow-up doesn't look awkward? It's simply by paying attention to little details when you first met them. I hear a lot of ladies say, Cmor, I struggle with following up with people. Comment below if you have the same struggle, if you struggle with following up with people after you meet them at a social event. That no matter where they meet you or how many times they meet you, they ensure that they leave you better than they met you. They add value to you. They leave something amazing behind that will make them unforgettable to you. The same thing applies to you. When you meet people for the first time, you don't want to come off with the energy of wanting to take from them. All you want to do is take without giving anything in return. The more you do that, the more you make people repel you, the more you make people avoid you. So anytime you meet people, whether it's at a social gathering or a networking event, you want to add value to them. And there are various ways to add value to people. And value adding can happen in any way. It could be from giving a high value compliment to being a very high value connector, or it could be doing something that helps the person move from where they are to where they want to be. Finally, there is something that an affluent person does to build intimate relationship and business opportunities everywhere they go. They send a thank you note. I know this is something a lot of people will say is old school, but guess what? Saying thank you is not old school. So why will sending a thank you note be old school? When we want to build connection with people, when we want to show them that we are high value, elegant women, we don't just attend parties and go to our various homes and that's about it. We show appreciation to the host who has invited you to that party. Why is that? so they can invite you again when there is another party. This will give you the opportunity to socialize, to build network, and of course build long-term friendship. So every social event that you go to and every party that you go to, you want to ensure that you send a thank you note after you have left the party. As a matter of fact, it's important you do that 24 hours after the party. You want to say thank you to that person for inviting you over for the event and that you enjoyed every moment of it. You can even give a short information on someone amazing that you met at their party and how you loved every moment of it. This thank you note can come as a physical note, as an email, or as a message. But make sure you send a message to the person who invited you for that party saying thank you. Now, ladies, these are the high-value, elegant habits that affluent people use to build relationships and business opportunities everywhere. It is important that you learn these skills as well because it will make you stand out of the crowd. It will help you build long-term relationships and connections and help your success in life. I hope this was helpful. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be a part of the journey on Queenly. Till then, I'll see you in the next video.